Hello, everyone. So I'm going to help facilitate this discussion. So we have Keith and Rashendra today. Please welcome to the stage. And of course, Yongkang. So he will have a chance not to be a host now and actually answer the questions. So we'll keep it really interactive and it's more a discussion. So feel free to ask the speakers the questions as we go. Obviously, I think everyone during your tech career ask yourself the question, do I really need to do this certification? Is it just going to be another line on my resume or is it actually going to get me the next job? So we're going to discuss it in the next 25 minutes. We're going to talk about what certification can actually make the difference. Does it make sense to do certification? Or maybe it's better just to go to a conference or network with people or do some hands-on project. And what certifications, I guess, to choose and at what stage of your career. And we all know that you're going to do like all certifications possible that Kubernetes, AWS, like everything that's out there is done. So I guess he will be a great person to ask, like, oh, what do you think about this certification? So guys, maybe just first, just a 30 seconds introduction of yourself before we dive into the questions. Peter, please.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Peter Adeosun. I'm a cybersecurity engineer and architect at West Palmas. Thank you. Yeah. So pretty much broadly, like my certifications include CISSP, SSCP. I didn't include the cloud security professional course as well. It's part of my certifications and also the SSCP. And also the most taxing one is becoming a cube astronaut, which includes you can see about 5 certifications over there. That's pretty much probably my experience include platform engineering and also security engineering about 4 years. Thank you.
Thanks, Rita. That's great. I don't have much certificates as Yom, so I'm not going to try to catch on with you. So I'm Rashendra, the principal engineers. I'm working at NAB. These surveys are pretty much part of my career. So I always try to get those certificates while I'm working on something in my relevant organization. So all those certificates probably reflect on what technologies I'm working on. As mentioned by Peter, I'm working in the platform engineering space too. Over to you, Yong.
Thanks. So again, my name is Yongkang. I did quite a lot of certifications. I want to tell you a secret. You don't have to do all these certifications. So in my opinion, you just focusing on the one which really can help you to get your next exciting jobs. So I did the list for different purposes. I just want to inspire more people for the continuous learning and then potentially to level up to find your next exciting jobs. I actually don't have any other job right now. I founded the community, it's called KSUG.AI, just purely helping community, empower the community to learn faster, to get certified smarter, to grow stronger. That's our mission. So if you never, I want to say it again, if you never get a chance to scan the QR code, you scan the QR code, you find lots of surprises from our community. Yeah, back to you, Yana.
I guess the first question is, we're not going to go deep and talk about every certification today. So the first question is about some real life example. Yeah, if you can guys share the one story from your career where certification actually helped you to get the job or at least get like a good interview. So yeah, I would love to hear the real life example. Maybe we'll start with Rashendra.
Yeah, thanks. So I'd like to start with how certificate got me to where I am right now in my financial organization. So I started my career at NAB as a full stack developer. So back in that days, 2016, 17, full stack development means you probably need to know front end technologies as well as Java. So DevOps wasn't part of my resume, or it wasn't part of my job description. But I had my interest over cloud. I started my cloud journey with AWS, so I kept on learning it. And what happened is that at some point, some of my DevOps engineers left the team. Lateral went between the organization, and obviously then I hopped over to that opportunity. And ever since I like to call myself like a reasonably average DevOps engineer, however it is. And look, it really helped me to excel as a DevOps engineer. I think these certificates really helped me to not only to learn as well as to showcase even to my managers, hey, if you want me, you could fit the bill. Simple as that.
Peter, what about you? Do you have a
Yeah,
comment in your life?
no involvement. So I can think of when I was just starting my career in Australia. I was just like doing like an ICT, support role at the time. And, coming from like, I guess, from a software engineering background, I was learning more. I love platform and also networking. And yeah, I remember my first certification was the CCNA certification. That really helped me in my role when I applied to a vendor called Checkpoint, because they were like a network security, security vendor, and also based on my experience, I was able to show, I guess, project I've worked on, when I'm doing the interview, questions about IPs and network topologies, I was able to answer that because of not just like, hands-on experience, but also like based on my, I guess what probably made my application stand out more was because of my certification, essentially. But I guess certification and your experience actually is going to make you stand out. Yeah. Thank you.
Over to Young.
Okay, guys, back again. Just to show off all of my digital values. But not every certification actually created equal, in my opinion. So the one I really want to point it out is the one really helped me to land in my exciting job is guess which one? CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. So I traditionally I'm an infra guy. I was doing many years to do the storage and backup. And that time I lost my previous job. I was looking around the next exciting job. And then I see the market is shifting a lot of interest to the Kubernetes. So I did my certification. That was like 4 years ago. That was April. And I was looking for a job. And then surprisingly, after I did the certification in July, I did the certification in April. I was looking for the next exciting job. Right? In the few months of July, I got a very exciting job. I was hired by a company doing this Kubernetes backup and DR migration. So in my opinion, that's the only certification really helped me a lot, directly helped me to land in the next exciting job. So if I can add another one, so this is I normally tell my friends, if you only do one certification, you should do the CKA. That's really, it's a hands-on base. It's not an easy one. It's actually pretty hard, but that can definitely show you gain the hands-on experiences. The employers actually love to see you are CKA certified. And when they're looking for the job, you check the website, the job, they might have listed you are the CKA certified. Are you Kubernetes certified? The second, if you want to really do the second one, CKS. So why the security is always day zero thing? It's super important. So in my old session, people asking how to secure my AI workloads. That's very important. So cybersecurity, CKS, Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. That's another one. That also directly helped me to land the next exciting job with Wiz. You guys know Wiz, the cloud security company? Google paid like how much? $32 billion for the company. So I just want to point out, not every certification are created equal. Pick up the one really relevant and mostly critical to your job, to your career.
And I guess let's continue with the next question. You already touched on that, but do you think the employers actually cares about certification?
So I want to continue, yeah. I think not every certification that the employers care, but some of the certification, it's really, if you just simply look at the job site, or maybe LinkedIn, maybe Secret in Australia, pretty popular, what they are looking. So that can give you some guideline, what exactly certification you should focus on. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, actually keeping an eye what is in trend at the moment. Maybe there is not enough professionals with this particular skill and certification and actually can tip the balance. Rashendra, what do you think? Do the employers actually care about certification?
In the financial industry, really care. They really care about it. I can tell one example. So, for example, financial organization which I'm working on, we have like 300 Kubernetes clusters. So we're going to manage 300 Kubernetes clusters centrally. We need people who knows Kubernetes. Otherwise, the management have to make a decision. Hey, is this the correct team, or we need to make it offshore? We need to find another team. So I think if you want to make sure that you got the right skill set, work experience is really a thing which you should probably demonstrate. But when you have quite a number of people who are certified, that really helps to make a comfortable decision. Yeah, look, I think we can handle with the current capital if we want to scale this number of scale clusters, Kubernetes clusters, if we want within our organization. And with that, any engineers who probably have worked with me in my organization have actually got Kubernetes certification. So because that actually helps, as well as they also have noted that you get recognized for this particular certificate. You get noted, as well as it helps the job on the day.
Peter, over to you.
Yeah, that's really agree with you, because at the end of the day, it depends on the company strategy. For example, like, you know, I've had the opportunity to work across multiple divisions within West Farmers. The reason why I was put on certain projects is because certain certifications, e.g. the Kubernetes certification, and that's what they were using at that point in that particular division. And yeah, like, you know, if you have certain like niche, I guess, certified, or you can prove that you work in certain technology. Example, AI is a new emerging technology. If you have that particular skill set, and you can show like through certification, that's really going to, I guess, improve your stance against working against, you know, with big organizations, especially, you know, working in transformative projects. Yeah.
But just to add to that, certain consultancy companies, they need certain number of certified people to be a partner with certain cloud providers, be a premium partner, premium support partner. So, the simple answer is yes, that does matter.
Yeah, 100%, especially when it comes to the security aspect, like, you know, the CISSP, some organization actually require someone to be CISSP certified. You can't even be in certain role if you don't have this certification.
Yeah, definitely. And what do you think is certification more important at a certain stage of career? So, for example, maybe starting career or moving from a different industry or moving to a different role, or I guess certification can be important at any stage. So is it any particular time that it can actually tip the balance? Yeah, we'll start with you. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I'm actually that sort of, yeah, like from my perspective, because I've pretty much done most of the certification, like, you know, out there. But I guess having the portfolio is like, it's a really good point to sort of show your seniority, I guess. Certification is going to help you at some point, but you know, you need to be able to prove what projects you've done with those certification, or like like I guess, you know, you have to prove both ways is my opinion on that. Like as an entry level person, certification is going to help you. As a senior person, yeah, you need to have a portfolio to show against what projects you've done. Yeah, and also I guess, yeah, like the other way, like I think contributing to to the community is a really good thing to do to show that you actually do care about other people as well. I think that's something that.
Just a quick one on that, so certificates will definitely help all along your career, but that's one instance which I can clearly attest that, it really helped me is that, when I graduated out of my uni, I didn't have the best GPAs, and I thought, probably I would be last on the, or at least in the middle of the line to get a job, but I thought, okay, how do I get ahead of others? I mean, how do I land a job, because the job market is not always good, what I did is that I did certain certificates which actually matters for that industry. Because the university, if you do a computer science or a software engineering, there's always a reasonable gap between the actual industry. Unless you do, even though you might have in place for the industry. So I think to bridge that gap, certification is a really tool which you can use.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Rashendra as well. So when you are just graduated from OU, how you can showcase you can do something. So I think that's very important stage when you did some certification compared to your other students, classmates. You got something at least to show off. That's one of the areas definitely the certification shining. But for someone like Rashendra, he got an exciting job. He doesn't need to do the certification to keep this job. So I personally say probably less important. But one thing very important is if you want to continue to learn something new, to stay in your job, to keep your job, that is also very helpful. One way I see for the new graduates, it's super helpful. For someone trying to transition to a new job, which we don't have much more experience in, so that's where the certification can help you a lot. At least you can showcase, you can do this, you can do that. That's why I see, there are more, more opportunities when you are trying to transition to find your next exciting job.
You can definitely show that you're interested in a career progression, and sometimes let's face it, when you're applying for jobs, you need to hit some keywords, yeah, and it does sound like not I guess not the best way to get through ATS system, but in reality, yes, like if you haven't done it and ATS system will pick up the keywords that you've done certification, and even if you don't have a hands-on experience, then you just need to prove that you actually can do something in this area. So the certification can definitely help you to go through some hiring process and some stages. I guess next question is, do you recommend any specific certification, and like how do you decide if you want to, all certification costs money, how do you decide if you're going to actually spend this money instead of maybe do something for free, do like some YouTube course, I don't know, or again go to networking event, contribute to open source. At which point do you feel like, okay, no, I'm going to spend the money and commit to certification?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's also a common question. The certification all expensive. If you look at the AWS, it costs you like $200, $300, and the CNCF certification are also similar. All of the certification are expensive. That's why I tell my friends, you don't really need to do every certification, especially some of my friends from the developing countries. I give them the 50% of discount code. He was looking at the bank and said, I don't have really even 50% off. I don't have the money to pay for the 50% off. I was telling him, so why you do the certification? You just do the loading, that's more than enough. You already load the technology, that's already enough. Why you don't have much more money? You want to spend the money to just do the certifications. So that's my suggestion. Do the free one first. Do the beta. Most of the time, the beta exams are free, or at a very cheap cost. That's my suggestions. If you look at all the certifications, seriously, you don't have to do everything. You just pick up the one most important I mentioned earlier. For example, for AWS, the most popular one, Solution Architect Associate. If you do a Google, the cloud engineer actually a pretty popular one. Do the CNCF I mentioned earlier, the CQA is the most important one. So in my opinion, we should always think about the ROI. You don't want to spend a lot of money for the certifications, and then you look back, you cannot find a job. You did the 10 certification, doesn't mean you can guarantee a 10 jobs. So you need to think about the ROI, invest smart. That's why I put together, load smart, get certified smart. You don't want to spend too much money. Again, follow our community. We share all the learning certification, it's kind of cool. All the events, I know most of people join the events also for free. So support the community to help more people.
Just to add to that, yes, money is one thing as well as your time. You don't have all the time to do just like your to do all the certificates. So definitely you're occupied with your work. You're probably doing after hours. You got a family. You need to spend your time. That's the most important thing. So you've got a limited budget, limited time. So use wisely. I would start with if your organization is sponsoring fine certificates, that's one way to start. That means that the organization itself have recognized that these certifications do help their employees. That's a good way to start because, as I said, there are a lot of free certificates, but most of the certificates really cost. Definitely talk to anyone who got certified because most of the time they would get like a 50% discount and they would be really glad to share it with you.
Yeah, my stance on that, as Jan said, is technology first. I'd rather learn technology than for certification and look at the return of investments. For example, like learning the Kubernetes exams, that's actually worthwhile. Learning the Kubernetes technology is actually worthwhile doing the exam because having these certificates is really, really good for going forward or even as an entry level person. Or even when it comes to the ISP exams as well, you actually learn many things, and you need to be able to prove you actually learned out of preparing for the exam. But there's some certificate that actually like you don't really need to. There's some technology you don't actually really need to do the certification. For example, AWS has lots of certifications. I have like more than 5 years experience in AWS. I don't need to do or the certification, like I did this solution architect one, but doesn't mean I don't still learn more about AWS. Every single day I learn new things about AWS. But yeah, like I guess you just need to find a balance. Learning technology is definitely the key, and with none of investments, like you need to choose what certificate can actually make you stand out as an income.
And it's always nice that your company can pay for it.
Yeah, exactly, free. I mean, most of these certification can be never wrapping as well. So yeah, if you can get past that, definitely do as much certification as you can.
Yeah, definitely go to the company, ask if you have a learning budget. Sometimes you have it, you just don't know about it. So it's always good to check and see what's the learning budget. I think we're running out of time, but do we have time to a few questions from the audience? So yeah,
1 minute.
1 minute, 2 questions. Anyone have any questions? No questions. No questions. Yeah.
Do you still think it's worthy to do a certification marketing even if you don't, if you're not going to be renewing it every year?
Yeah, that's a good question. For example, I'm not a fan of renewing certification, but in fact of certain certification that you have perks. For example, probably gives you access to like knowledge base, that's what's renewing. Or for example, if there's always new content in the certification, it's worth renewing it. And I'm not a fan of like, you're having like the model of recertifying, I guess is another thing. For example, with the ISP, ISC squared one, you just do CP hours, that's what you need your certification, that's a really good one to do it. But the one you have to sit down for an actual exam again, I guess I guess it depends on the kind of certification. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. Just to show like, you're actually, updating your knowledge on that particular subject, yeah.
Just to add to that, so if you're going for a milestone, let's say if you're trying to become a KubeSmart or head of this code, just for example, then you probably want to keep on renewing it. Because otherwise, if you don't renew it, doesn't matter, you at a given point, you need to have all those certificates as active. But then again, sometimes I have done the same exam, pretty much exactly the same way when I have to renew. It is such a waste of time and money, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, I just quickly, I personally, I don't recommend to do the review because I see less value, to be honest. Yeah, you already got the certification, you already passed all the challenges. What you really need is just to continue to refresh the knowledge. Don't waste the money to do the certifications. I think that we just about the time. I just want to remind everybody, for us, join our community. Surprise giveaways, we give away 50% of exam vouchers and also loaning subscriptions. Back to Yana.
Do we have time for one more question or that's it? We are at the
No, I
time.
think yeah, everybody.
Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Yes, please connect with us on LinkedIn as usual. I do run a lot of community events too. Thank you. And what's coming next? Yeah, are we
Yeah, we
going
have,
for lunch or not yet?
We have another awesome topic. Don't go away. We got to move to is talking about I think that's AI coding stuff, which is pretty cool. I did a little bit of showcase, but he will give you more insights how the AI coding works. Let's welcome Thanks everyone for joining.